and I guess I should mention something. And wow, I was just about to talk about Aspertia City's geography in the Unova region. What a coincidence! I swear I didn't know that was coming. But yeah, Aspertia City is brand new to this game. It's located in southwestern Unova. Sorry, it's in a part of the region that didn't exist at all in the first game. There are several other new areas like this, mostly in the southwest and the northeast of Unova. But don't worry, we're going to see all these places. Don't worry about that. I'm going to be as much of a completionist as I have ever been. So, I think we're done in this house, and you know what's really annoying? Walking around in slow motion like this. I want my running shoes, and I want them now! Okay, up there we have, sometimes wild Pokemon attack people, so, you need your own Pokemon for protection the second you leave town, basically. And if you go up there into the toll booth, well, you can't go into the toll booth. That leads into Route 19. And of course, Hugh isn't a total jerk. At least he's nice enough to go check if it turns out that Bianca didn't even make it to the city. But she did make it to the city because going up there. Ugh, freaking interruption! Okay, so yeah, the Outlook is Aspertia's most famous spot. So, of course, that means Bianca should be there. So, yes, of course that means that she is indeed there because they're not going to subject us to a plot twist. Well, I say plot, I use the term loosely, where she's not even there. And, yes, this is Bianca, as I said before. She's had a bit of a makeover since the first game. Interesting fact is that she inherited Sharon's glasses, who doesn't want to use them anymore, and I think we're going to actually see the reason later on. You're not going to believe it. So, I answered no just for shits and giggles, and Bianca recognized me anyway because apparently I matched the description perfectly. So, I guess Bianca isn't quite as much of an airhead as she was at the start of the first game. You know, character development and all that. And, I mean, she ended up being Juniper's assistant and managed to keep the job for 2 years. So that's gotta mean something, right? So, of course, I'm not going to be filling the Pokédex, as I have never done so in any of my Let's Plays, and I'm not going to start now. So, you actually have to talk to her again if you want your Pokemon. I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever. Let's see what you got in there. Oh! Elephant turds! My favorites! So we got Snivy, we got Oshawott, and we got what will be my pick for this Let's Play? Tepig! Yes, it is indeed the Pokemon that I want, because using Snivy would be ill-advised considering that there's going to be a Poison Gym coming up pretty early in the game, and I don't want to catch a temporary team member for that. Of course, I'm not going to be using Tepig throughout the entire game, because in this generation, keeping your starter the whole way through, well, let's just say that it ends well about as often as saying, hold my beer and watch this. So, I'm going to get a Pokédex as an added bonus. Once again, not going to fill it up, but we get it as part of the package deal that sends us on this journey. And the more I think about it, the more I think getting away from a mother that has a Kim Kardashian fetish really isn't all that bad an idea. So maybe I should have shown a little bit more enthusiasm back at the house in retrospect. But you know, hindsight, 2020, all that stuff. Now, once she's done talking, I'm going to... Oh, and that's now, so I'm going to take a look and see what nature I drew on this Tepig, and it's got high HP, it seems. Hardy nature, which is neutral. Not bad at all. This is not going to... Well, this isn't going to provide me any advantages, but it's not going to screw me over either, considering it's going to be using a little bit of special, a little bit of physical, in the short time that it's going to be with me. And yes, that's my partner, at least until I get to Castelia and get a chance to capture a Drillbur and a Petilil. But yeah, I get it already. I'm gonna take good care of it. Not that it matters in gameplay terms, because this is a Pokemon that doesn't evolve with happiness, and the only thing that treating it well will do will be that it's going to make return stronger. And if you use return on a Tepig / Pignite / Emboar, you're going to have a bad time. So, here's you begging for a Pokedex of his own, and yeah, he's probably setting himself up for a big disappointment, since, you know, she was sent here to give me a Pokedex, meaning that she probably only has one, and I just took it! Oh no, she actually does have another Pokedex on her. Well, never mind that. Of course, mistakes like that might be a little common in this Let's Play, considering that, as I said, I've only played this game once before because it's so recent. It's something that's brand new, the fact that I'm LPing a really recent Pokemon game. Anyway, it's time for our first rival battle. Yeah, he was insisting on me treating my Pokemon well, so I just got mine, and suddenly he wants me to fight with it. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Anyway, his starter is going to be Oshawott. He always has the starter that's strong against yours, hence why we never had a hint of the species of his Pokemon before we actually pick our starter. So, I opened with Tail Whip there. The reason for that is simple. It's because, well, starting with Tail Whip, then doing Tackle over and over and over is probably the best way about doing this fight, since the Tail Whip is going to pay for itself after 2 tackles, and anything after that is, well, profit. So, is that going to be enough for the kill? Yes! So, I told you, that Tail Whip pays for itself pretty quick, so it's an interesting strategy that you can use if you want to. Of course, just spamming Tackle is almost just as good, but whatever you do, if you want to use Tail Whip, use it first to get the most out of it. So, also, you may have noticed that I got way more experience for defeating an Unova Stage 1 starter than I did in the first game. That's because they readjusted the experience yield for Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott, since it doesn't need to be so low anymore, so that you can be still at level 5 for a second rival battle immediately afterwards. So, it's kind of nice that they did that, I guess, since now I'm at level 6, and just a stone's throw away from level 7. So, we're going to get a little guided tour of the Pokemon Center. That's, remember, we could not enter it before. So, let's take a look at what's inside. Except we already know, because it's the exact same thing as in Black and White 1. Hasn't changed at all. So, over here we have the desk where you can get your Pokemon healed. This is by far the most important part of a Pokemon Center, obviously. And by the way, as a quick side note, what's on the upper floor there? I'm not going to go there because I already covered it in my White 1 Let's Play, and it's the exact same thing, hasn't changed at all. So, for the sake of avoiding redundancy, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, this is the PC that you can use for storing and withdrawing Pokemon at will. And over there, we have a few vendors that are going to sell you stuff. They only start with potions, Pokeballs, and some kinds of mail. But as you get deeper into the game, you visit more cities, get more badges. The selection is going to increase, and I'm going to get some Pokeballs for free as well. And one thing that's interesting is that we can manage to get all that tutorial stuff out of the way as soon as the starting city, because, well, as I said, this is the first starting city that has some vendors and Pokemon centers. Now, I'm just going to delay following Bianca a little bit, and I'm going to talk to this guy, a guy who spends all of his time in Pokemon centers. Yeah. This is something that, well, it's the basic. You have to come here whenever your Pokemon's HP gets down to a certain point. It's also a wise idea to simply come here and heal whenever you reach a town. Even if you don't really need the healing, it's always a good idea. So as I said, regular Pokeballs, regular potions, and nothing else. And here we have some mail, which is completely useless. So let's just get out there and meet up with, I almost said Cynthia! Why the hell would I do that? Bianca, I mean. So, my mom actually took time off her busy marathon of watching the worst TV has to offer just to send me off, and, oh wow, yes! Running shoes! Gimme! 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 Clearly, she's desperate to have me as far away from her as humanly possible, which is good because I also am looking forward to getting as far away from her as quickly as humanly possible. And now is where I go off on that mandatory rant of why do you need special shoes in order to run? You could run with sandals in your feet. Not that it would be really comfortable, but whatever shoes that I had on, I could presumably run with these as well, so this is stupid. Anyway, she gave me 2 town maps, one for me and one for Hugh, so whenever I catch up with Hugh, who's already gone forward, of course, well, I'm just going to have to give him one of these, because, well, I don't have a use for 2 town maps anyway. As a matter of fact, I don't have a use for one, but I guess I'll humor the game and keep the one that was meant for me anyway. So, Bianca's off to Route 19 to teach me how to catch Pokémon, which is going to have to wait because my mom wants to say farewell one more time for some reason. And is she going to say the same thing? Yes. And Hugh's sister, who doesn't have a name of her own, how sad. But yeah, let's head over to Route 19 first. This is the toll booth that leads there. There are a lot of these scattered across Unova. I don't know which purpose they serve from a gameplay standpoint. Well, of course, they sort of provide a buffer between cities and routes and all that, but I don't know if that's necessary from a programming standpoint. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure about that. Anyway, in each toll booth, there's a bulletin board such as that talks about the cities that are around the routes and the whole surrounding area, basically. And, oh, by the way, I got a potion from that lady at the entrance of the toll booth. Of course, you saw it, but I didn't say a word about it, so I just wanted to show that, I acknowledge it. I got a potion in case I'm really desperate and I need some healing and fast, which is probably not going to happen. But, yeah. You know what? We're going to keep the tutorial about catching Pokemon for next time because I don't know how long it's going to stretch on for, and I want to keep it all in the same video. So I'm going to see you next time for the basics that we've known since the late 90s. See you then!